Hey everyone, welcome to Tuesday's Tips. Today's topic is scripting your way to success. My name is Michael. I'm a learning specialist and I work at Educational Support Services. And we also have Callie, who is charged of the FYE as a co-sponsor of today's video. So in this series, we try to do in 15 minutes or less a mini workshop where we talk to you, the LCCC student, about the essential skills you need to be successful here. So as a learning specialist, I help students with all these different skills, and I live in educational support services. So feel free to reach out to me if there's anything that's confusing or you want to know more about that stuff, or there's something that can help you to be successful here at Lehigh Carbon Community College. All right, so here's our quick agenda. We're going to be talking about time. We're going to do a brief time management activity. We're going to talk about the importance of planners and tips that you can use to script your way to success here. Okay, so I want you to think about this. Picture someone living or dead who changed the world for the better. Got that person in your head? Okay. Now, 3 questions. Who is that person? Was it Martin Luther King Jr., Mahatma Gandhi, Bill Gates? You can think about anybody, but you have somebody in mind. To answer this, how many hours do or did they have in their day? How many hours do you have in your day? And the answer is 24. We know this for a fact, right? So the lesson here that everyone knows they have 24 hours in their days, but the important thing is how you use it is what really matters. Right. So we're going to do a brief activity. So if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, you feel free to pause with this activity, but we have something to think about here, right? So think about how you manage your week. So you can pause the video if you want here, or you can just kind of go along with the flow, right? So we want to calculate how many hours per day you're sleeping, multiply that by 7 for 1 day of each week. Grooming, meals, travel time, regular events, right? That you must attend, chores, errands, hours of work per week that you have, right? And that might vary, of course, but get an idea here. Hours of time in class per week, number of credit hours you're carrying. How much time are you doing the learning, studying, reviewing that you need to do to be successful? Then how many hours per week are you spending with social, fun, relaxing times, right? So figure all that out. Take that total, subtract it from 168 hours and see where you are. Maybe you need to make some adjustments. Maybe you're expressing yourself too thin. It's pretty common for human beings to do that to ourselves, right? And one of the themes of being adult is this: adulting is hard. Right? There always seems like there's people and things and responsibilities pulling us in a million directions. All right, so last time we talked about calendars, today we're going to talk about planners. So planner pages, this is an example of a planner page. It's one of my favorite ones to do, right? When used well, they can give you a great week at a glance. They give you a sense of your day and how it will go, right? Good thing about using a planner page is like you're controlling your day. Your day is not controlling you, right? You have the ability to script activities. There are tools that can track your actions and really, really allow you to realistically assess things, right? Gives you the ability to focus better, right? And it can reduce the amount of stress about what you need to do when. Now, planner pages can be physical, pen or pencil, right? Or electronic using a Google Calendar or both. It's all up to you, right? So scripting your way to success. Okay, so you have your planner page, right? And the first thing you want to stick in there is put in your inflexibles, right? These are things that occur every week at a specific time, right? And they're going to happen with or without you. All right, so examples: class meeting times, standard job hours you have, social and spiritual obligations, right? Set travel times, right? Other things that must be done at a specific time on a week during a weekly basis, okay? Those are things that are inflexible, right? You have to drive here. I have to drive to work. You have to come to campus, right? You know, you have to take the bus. Those are set things you have to do, right, at specific times, right? Class meetings are not going to change. Your job hours, if they're standard, will not change, right? Your religious obligations on the weekends or during the week might not change, right? These are fixed. These are inflexible, right? Right. So what you do is you put in a pen or a specific color on your Google Calendar. You put these in here. You write these down first. These are your inflexibles. These are things that cannot change, right? These are permanent things for you, at least for a semester, right? Now, if you have a physical copy here, right, you can make photocopies of each week for all the terms, and then we can talk about the next phase, right? Now, your next phase is now that you have all your inflexibles in, right? Now we're going to put your flexibles in for this week and this week only. Don't work too hard with these. So your flexibles are flexible for a reason, right? Flexibles are events, tasks, and to-dos that need to be done during the week, but can be done really at any time, right? Online classes are huge here for students, right? So students sometimes forget about online classes. They say, no, 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 set them at specific times. Yeah, that time might move each week and each day, but set some time each week, each day to do it, right? Each time. Put them in your schedule, your planner for the week, okay? Household responsibilities, they need to be done. Now, you need to do dishes, you need to do X, Y, and Z, right? But those tend to be fluid too. Time to study, same deal, right? These can be very fluid. These can move around, but you want to be able, these are flexible, right? Time to work on projects and papers, social things that can move around, things that you want to do with friends, but you know, but you don't necessarily have a set time, right? You know, flex job hours have to go in here too, right? And things that are kind of similar, right? Now use these in pencil or even use these in a Google Calendar in a different color or use a second Google Calendar that you can superimpose on top of the other one, right? However, while you're doing this, watch out for the planning fallacy. Okay, so what is the planning fallacy, you might ask? Okay, no one asked, but here's what it is. Okay, what is it? Okay, so we as human beings are bad at estimating the time to do tasks. We as human beings suck at this. Everyone, we're bad at this. Science has shown this over and over again. So we regularly underestimate how much time it will take us to do something, right? This is true even if we've done the task before. Okay, reasons include optimism bias. I'll get it done. Yeah, no problem, right? You know, wishful thinking. We kind of wish we could get it done faster. And it's a self-serving bias because we want to do other things rather than these projects that we have to tackle, right? So a simple solution to this is counter this when you're planning things out in your calendar, right? In your planner, right? Triple your estimates as a starting point. Okay. So for example, if you think this reading will take 1 hour, that you have, okay, 1 hour, schedule 3, plan 3 out. If you think you're reading that textbook will take you 1 hour, schedule 3, right? And the reason for this is the pros of overestimating the time required are better than the cons of underestimating the time required. So think about this, right? So if you think the reading is going to take you 1 hour and you plan 1 hour, right? But if reading's going to take you 2 more hours, total of 3, you have to find 2 hours in your week to do those things. But if you think the reading is going to take you 1 hour, but you plan for 3, right? And it takes you 2, you have an extra hour to play around with. You have some free time, right? So until you understand how long it's really going to take you some things, right? Over plan, overestimate the time it's going to take, right? So some final tips on scripting your success using planner pages, right? So consider scripting fun and social activities. Put them down. People tend to ignore those things, but sometimes studies have shown that putting those down first can help us feel better about ourselves, right? So for instance, Netflix and Showtime, Saturday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Netflix and chill. Put that down. The nice thing about putting that down in your planner, it gives you some boundaries too. So I'm going to watch 3 hours of Netflix with my friends and family. We're going to do this chill. But when that time's up, I got to do something else, right? This helps us avoid binge watching. Right. So when you schedule, it gives you boundaries, but also a bit of control at your life. All isn't just all college, right? Use verbs. Verbs are cool tools to have here, right? They can help you use actions that you need to do and help you keep moving, you know, and then scripting your work and doing it, right? So using verbs and scripting your work and then doing it are important too. So look at this draft English 105 assignment, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Wednesday, right? Okay, I'm giving you a verb draft. I got myself a time frame. I'm going to do it. Okay. Also, think about when you're planning your week, betting some assistance time, faculty office hours, time with tutors, which I would always argue is efficient and effective. It's easy when you work with a tutor trying to make sure you learn the material. It's a lot better trying to figure it out on your own. Okay, but also as I caution, watch out for that planning fallacy. It will sneak up on you. All right, so be flexible and think about your learning plans, because what's going to happen is these plans that you have, right, despite your best efforts, will get often, right? I promise that the planning fallacy will impact you at some point. It will, right? Unexpected things will come up during your plans, right? And expected things will creep up on you that you will forget about. So you have to go with the flow here. Your plans will fail when you script everything out using a planner, but that's okay. What you want to do is weekly. Make sure you rethink and revise your scripted plan for the next week, right? So you want to reflect, learn, revise, work on improving, repeat. That's your sequence. So these planning pages, you want to create them, follow them, but learn from them, revise them, and create new ones. All right, so bottom line is using calendars and planners will help you get your stuff together. I promise, right? So tell us what you thought. There's a link in the chat here and in the description. You can give us some feedback, let us know. But really importantly, I want to know what you want for future sessions. Give us an idea what you want to do. You can actually put it down below in our YouTube comments too. We'll check that. Let us know what's useful for you. And we will be moving forward here in like jerky type of way here. But thanks for joining us for Tuesday's tips. And my name is Michael, and I will see you all next Tuesday, folks.